All right, class, daily oral language, you know the routine. I will get you going with a couple examples, and then you will have 2 problems to take care of before you come to class tomorrow. So make sure you're following along. Make sure you're watching closely as I make these corrections. The first sentence we have, did you know that over 300,000 new kinds of chemicals is formulated every year? One thing that I notice when I read that out loud, it doesn't quite sound right. Did you know that over 300,000 new kinds of chemicals is formulated every year? So that's one thing that I know as I'm working on this. I'm thinking is, that verb does not agree with what we're looking for there. I also see some spelling concerns, know and new, and keeping track of those. Did you know, and new kinds of chemicals that we want to keep track of. And then the other big one that I see is that I don't have any punctuation whatsoever here, and I know I need to have a punctuation at the end of my sentence. So when I go to rewrite this, I'm going to fix the spelling. Did you know that over 300,000, and now new as in brand new, drop the K, new kinds of chemicals, not is, but since that's plural, I need to have the right verb, are formulated every year. And then as I finish this sentence, I see that this is a question, and therefore the correct punctuation would be a question mark. Now I have, did you know that over 300,000 new kinds of chemicals are formulated every year? Second example for us to take down, it says some of America's toxic waste is dumped illegally into waterways, fields, ditches, and sewers. A couple things that I noticed. We have a possessive noun here. Going to have to adjust with our punctuation a little bit there. And then again, maybe it's not when I read it out loud, but when I look at it. Waterways, fields, ditches, and sewers. That kind of just really runs on. That's a list. And so we're going to have to separate our items in a list with a little bit of punctuation. So I'll make my sentence now to read some of America's. And since it's America's toxic waste, I need to say America's toxic waste is dumped illegally into, as I write these items in my list, I'm going to have to put a comma in between to separate them, into waterways, comma, fields, comma, ditches, comma, and sewers. So there's 2 examples of the daily oral language that we're just making the corrections on spelling and punctuation, reading carefully, reading out loud to help us with making sure that our verbs match up with our nouns and everything else. 2 examples for you to get done in class and have done before class tomorrow. 2 sentences. Seriously, there are more than 80,000 toxic waste dumps in the U.S. You see, I kind of struggled on that number. Might need to make some changes on the number there. And then in 1969, the Cuyahoga River catched fire. It was filled with toxic waste. You see some punctuation, some spelling issues there as well. Have them done before class tomorrow. Thanks.